Alright, hello guys, and today we're here with another Eminence video. This time we're doing the summon and skip video for the new Pajama Epsilon, which is the second event unit to Alpha. And so far from what I can see, this Epsilon isn't that good. She's a yellow tank, just like the Valentine Alpha here, another yellow tank. So it's nice we're getting more tanks, I guess. So let's get into our kit. Where as Epsilon's buffer routine and Alpha is buffer bedtime. So Epsilon's ultimate recovers HP, grants fighting spirit debuffer, and that does lowers the crit defense of all enemies, which is kinda a bum. And ensures the crit attack of all your element allies and flourishes his speed. I mean, it does suck that it does give her the crit stats instead of just regular attack and defense. You know, there's regular attack and defense, and then there's crit attack and crit defense. So it does, they honestly can't fumble her by giving them the crit ones. And you know, the crit attack and crit defense only really matter if you perk a crit. As you can see here, you pretty much just need to get a crit to make use of a crit attack bonus and a crit defense. Pretty much just helps how much you tank a crit. So yeah. And besides that, you just get a nice speed boost, which is, I guess, the best part of the ultimate, really, and nothing else is really that good. Now, the skill one, which pretty much just shields base your own defense and shield damage of all allies, which I think is kind of just natural, I guess. Well, or at least a standard. Usually, tanks have this where they just raise defense and shields damage or provoke or something. Where the skill 2, which inflicts provoke on all enemies. Furloughs, attack and defense, and inflict sleep. It does look like a nice debuffing, yeah. Anyway, awaken it, you inflict sleep on 2 random enemies, which could be useful for PvP. Though the random opponents here might just overlap with Alpha's skill where she puts the highest enemy to sleep for 3 seconds. So that's one thing as well. And then we have her passive, giving Pajama girl. Each time sleep is inflicted by enemy by ally, which in this case ally would be Alpha, the Pajama Alpha. Raises damage received for all enemies. And each time Epsilon receives damage or serves, it lowers damage inflicted for all enemies and further lowers attack. So yeah, so far, Epsilon is pretty much a debuffer. I mean, what sucks is that most of the enemies now just cancel debuffs unless they're permanent, really, which none of these Epsilon's debuffs are permanent. So realistically, once you not collect an event or Armageddon boss, below a certain, well, I think it's only event bosses, they usually just cancel all the debuffs on themselves, so that kind of does reduce the value of this Epsilon, as well as us kind of lacking any actual buffs besides the speed buff you get here, and the crit attack, I guess. As well as, well, the skill just lowers defense and speed, which is kind of yikes. Meanwhile, Alpha does give you accuracy and speed buff by 30%. So it seems that Epsilon's more of a debuffer and Alpha is a debuffer, which pretty much makes it obvious that Alpha is the better in general, since it's better to buff your eyes rather than debuff your enemies. And as I said before, most event bosses pretty much just cancel the debuffs on them. And also that says lowers defense and speed of single enemies, so it's not really too sure if it's just a random enemy or the enemy with the highest stat or lowest stat. It just says of single enemy, so I guess, I mean, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to mean. I mean, this skill could be, well, I don't think this will be useful for PvP, to be honest, since matches end so fast. Epsilon doesn't really tank anything to lower the influx of debuffs, so I don't think she'll actually serve any PvE purpose. Maybe you could get some use out of this if you're lucky with who she randomly inflicts sleep on. But yeah, so far, the Epsilon not looking too good really. The Awakening Sword kinda whatever. And I guess the speed at AP is nice, and then pretty much everything is honestly just whatever really. He's more of a debuffer, which sucks because this event I kinda love this event. I was planning to summon for Epsilon if she was good, but this kind of debuff build honestly just sucks in my opinion, really. You're better off pulling for the new alpha as I had pretty much stated before. Where buffs are honestly pretty good really. Or if you want, maybe you can try to get Valentine Alpha from here. So it is a 50-50 chance, of course, and you do have to do like 5 motives first. So not only that, the SS Plus gear for this ETA is still the best yellow tank. I believe it's because the devs made this one a little too overpowered, which is why it has to just get scared and seem to just bump everything else. Like I swear, devs do this a lot in this game. They make one character overpowered and then somehow manage to fumble every other time they go back to that concept. Like yellow tank or yellow deep or yellow SF. And it was pretty much why we didn't really get any yellow SF for a long time. Like if you execute Shadow and Alpha, we pretty much didn't get one besides Steve and Victoria recently really. And all the fighting spirit units the fighting spirit damage ones, they suck, as well as the fighting spirit debuff ones. So if it's fighting spirit buff, well that's good. However, if it's fighting spirit debuff or or if it's fighting spirit damage, well then it's not that good, unfortunately. Only the fighting spirit buff is really good nowadays. So yeah, really and truly, unless Epsilon is your waifu, not really worth pulling. She could be useful for the event, but afterwards, not really worth. If anything, it's better to summon the for the new alpha over here, like I did. And yeah, that's just about it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.